Welcome everyone, Madman, bringing another RSL video. So today we're going to start with the new fusion, which is a Sylvan Watcher by the name of Eostrid Dream Song. Eostrid, I don't know, very weird name, but anyway. I'm sure 1,000,001 CCs are going to do reviews on her and maybe even game planning, how this fusion goes, but I'm not going to quite do that. What I'm going to do is a technical review, so to speak, so we can chronologically here keep track of how these fusions and then these Titan events keep going and what all the requirements are. Probably should have been doing this all along, but I'm starting now just to keep track. So why do I want to do this? Well, let's start first off with the first two things on the board. So day one, we got champ training, right? So one, a video recording here of what you get for what points, right? So this is a standard fusion, so it's just fragments, get 100 fragments, let it sit in your summon pool if you want, or go ahead and summon, you can do whatever. So what we got here, 3,550 points in champ training, and it's a tournament. Gives you 5 frags, and then if you get to 6,350, you can get another 5 frags. Now we know what the point thresholds are, and we can see how they go up or down based on each fusion here, because they've obviously trended higher and higher as far as requirements go. Now, the technical part of it here is, all right, how do we level up? Well, for each level on a rank 1, we get 1 point, same with a rank 2, and then you can see 2 points for a 3-star, 3 points for a 4, 6 points for a 5-star, and 8 points for a 6-star. Now remember, all right, so it's 10 levels, but you start at level 1, so it's always one less level than you would think. So 1-star, only 9 levels. 2-star, that's 20 minus 1, that's 19 levels. 29 levels, 39 levels, 49 levels, 59 levels. So that's how your points go. Then, of course, you can rank them up, and you can see the points here. From a 1 to 2 stars, 5 points. 2-star to 3 stars, 15. 3-star to 4 stars, 50. 100 and 300, so on and so on. Now this is a tournament, so the bonus stuff here, when you ascend, you can see the points here between your uncommon to mythical champions here. And then the sad part is, why? Okay. Oh wait, this ascension, sorry. Anyway, so you get points here for the ascension, and of course you get points here for skill tomes, so 25 for rare, up to 500 for booking mythicals. If you got a lot of books, all right, most people, since the CBC is not going on, they might wait, unless it's a champ like, ooh, I gotta have them like right now. It's like, you know, for most people, hey, you've done the Lydia, you're gonna want to pull Lydia, and probably not wait for CBC because she's gonna be helpful. But anyway, so that's the points breakdown here for champ training, and it's been standard across the board for quite some time. All right, so backing out here on day one as well, we have the Fire Knight tournament. And this has been pretty much standard for well over a year now. They kind of finally settled in on this point requirement, but pretty much any dungeon that you have to do, the point requirement is going to be 2,250 points. In this particular case, we're going to get 5 frags. And then there's some bonus stuff. This is pretty weak sauce stuff. I mean, 300k in coin is nothing. Going from 12 to 16 could easily wipe that out. 7 brews. 200 tokens here, so yeah, pretty weak sauce. But anyway, so how do we get the points here? Again, artifacts, you get a 1, to a 6-star, and that's how many points you get. And then based on the rarity, you get extra points here. So if you got a 1-star common, you'd actually get 2 points. If you had a 2-star uncommon, you get 3 points. So here on a mythical, you can get up to 29, but on a legendary 6-star, you'd only get 25 or 22 for a 6-star epic, and so forth. So that's how the points go there for Fire Knight. Tomorrow, day 2, we do know that Dungeon Divers is starting, so you will see how these artifacts break down points-wise for Dungeon Divers. Until then. So day 2 here, and it is Friday. Let's see how bad this Champ Chase tournament has gotten here. Alright, so we can see 2150 is going to give us the first 5 frags. Thank you for loading forever. 3650 for 10. That's essentially 15 sacred shards if you pull nothing but epics on a Champ Chase. 15 sacreds. That's crazy. But real quick, let's confirm as usual. 1 point for commons and uncommons, 10 points for a rare, 250 for an epic, 500 for a legendary, 1,000 for a mythical, and then 50 points for rare and voids, 350 for epics on voids, and 650 for legendaries on voids. So yeah, it's pretty tough here. There's a chronological there. This is where you want to kind of be doing some of those Broadmaw fusions so you can fuse him. Because yeah, without having to fuse any epics, that's a whole lot of points. Alright, but that's the points breakdown. Now let's move over. Dungeon Divers has loaded up too, because they always want to make us wait the first day. Alright, so we are at 3,700, which apparently has become the new standard there, with 5 fragments there at 3,700. And pretty, typical here. Point system. Mostly you're going to be in this 5-star rare block here, where you're kind of going to be up in this corner here if you're farming campaign. But those are the points breakdowns for Dungeon Divers as far as what artifacts will give you there. We'll see you on the next event. So let's see what day 3 brings us, which should be some classic arena and I think artifact enhancement. So for I can't say her name anyway. Classic arena, standard 390 points and 5 frags available at that mark. And then of course the technical info, your points, most people are going to be in gold 5, but hopefully you're in the gold range for the most part. So you're getting anywhere from 9 to 13 points. If you're lucky enough to be in platinum, you're getting 14 points per battle if you win. So pretty standard, simple stuff. Not necessarily easy to win all of those, but depending on where you're at, for me, it's not really a problem. But all right, and then yes, artifact enhancement is on today. And again, your standard, sadly new standard, 4,775 points to get the 5 fragments there. And how do you win? Here is your chart, and pretty much 270, 340 taking up to 16, and you got what, 405, 415, so 418 if you take a 6-star all the way up from level 1 to 16, and then 270, 310, 15, 317. So 317 for taking a 5-star. Hopefully you're not at the point where you're taking 1 to 4 stars, but you might be. And there you have it. That is the breakdown for artifact enhancement. Moving on, Spider, I believe, is up next. And where are we at here? We are taking forever to load. So, yay, raw. Spider, well, it's going to be 5 fragments at 2250 if it ever loads there. Okay, rewards. I feel like they're just getting ho-hum. Anyway, 2250 points for 5 fragments in the Spider tournament. And par usual here, your standard 1, 2, 3, 7, 15, and 20 points, depending on you get a 1-star to a 6-star, and then your bonus points for accessories are 1 for common, 1 for uncommon, 1 for rare, 2 for epic, 5 for legendary, and 9 for mythical. So what does that mean? On a 6-star mythical, you could get up to 29 points there. On a 6-star rare, you can get 21 points. So your minimum is going to be 16 points for most of us, up to 29 points, depending on whether you're doing 20 on normal or you are doing some form of hard dungeon. And there we go. That is Spider. Moving along, our second dungeon, Divers, is going to bring us, again, 3,700 points for 5 fragments here. And again, for most of us, we're going to be in this 10 point to 25 points range, depending on where you are farming. But standard dungeon divers, as far as pretty much rewards and, of course, points go. See you tomorrow. Alright, so today we should be starting Dragon, which we are. And per usual, 2,250 points is the standard, and that will, of course, yield us 5 fragments. How do we get there? We get gear, standard gear. Usually most of us are going to be in the 5 to 6-star range, which yields 15 to 20 points, and then based on the rarity, which usually is rare, up to mythical, so we can get 21 to 29 points there. So as you can see, it costs 16 energy, usually getting a 5-star rare, so that's 16 points, 16 energy on stage 20 there. That's why it's point per energy or better. That's what makes stage 20 better to run. If you get a 6-star rare or a 5-star rare on, say, stage 10 hard, that's 16 points, but it costs you 20 energy. So that's why the odds are lower there. Anyway, that is how you make points and where you need to get to in Dragon. Then moving over to the Events tab, Artifact Enhancement has started today. This is the second one, but we'll show you anyway. Again, 4,775 points will give you 5 fragments. And of course, your standard level up your gear, and the farther you go, the more points you get. And there we go for now. Next on our list is the Champ Training event. And it is an event, so that means books and ascensions do not help. Alright, so 5 fragments available at 3,100 points, and another 5 fragments available at 6,100 points. There's a Primal Shard and a Legendary Tome up for grabs. This can be easy or hard depending on the amount of coin and or brews you have, or how much energy you're willing to drop into this. Again, looks like standard points here. 1 point for every level for 1 and 2 stars, 2 for a 3-star, 3 for 4, 6 for 5, and 8 points for 6 stars. And then, of course, as you send 1 star into 2 star, you get 5 points. Same thing for 2 to 3, 15, 3 to 4, 50, 4 to 5, 100, and 5 to 6 star, 600. So that's where the majority of your points are probably going to come from. It's going from 5 to 6 star, and then leveling up potentially your 5 star there. Most people are probably not leveling up their 6 star too much, because Minotaur is usually where you want to run them. Because generally, if you're going to make them a 6 star, you want to run masteries, and Minotaur is not very efficient, but at least not during a champ training, unless you have lots of energy. Good portion too is also going to come from leveling up 4 stars to turn them into 5 stars. Anyway, but standard point system that we've had for quite some time here. So there we go. That is a champ training event and how we get to the points. And then there were a few. And the few today would be Summon Rush. So let's see here. Nothing on the first row. So our first set of points are at 2250. And our second set, which is 10 fragments versus 5, is at 3150. And of course you can go all the way up to 7500 if you want to go crazy. And our typical standard shard points. 1 for mysteries, 20 for ancients, 120 for voids, 200 for primals, and 500 for sacreds. So just over 4.5 there for the first 5, and just over 6 for the second set of 10. But that is Summon Rush, the points needed, and how you get them. Moving on, due to an impromptu road trip with the wife this weekend, we're a little behind, but that helps us finish things out. So, coming up to the finish line here, we have the Ice Golem Tournament, where at 2,250 points, of course, 5 fragments, and we come over here, and it's our standard points here for artifacts. Most of us are going to be in the 15 to 20, and then we're going to be somewhere with a bonus 1 to 9 extra points there, depending on whether you're farming normal or hard. So typical point system there, just for Ice Golem. Then, like the previous Classic Arena takedown, you can't see it, but it again was 390 points to get the 5 frags here. And of course, depending on whether you're in silver, bronze, or gold, most people are probably going to be in gold, hopefully farming gold 5, where you get 13 points per battle. If you're a fortunate one to be in platinum, you'll get 14. That might save you a battle or 2 overall. Then next, moving on, we have the Dungeon Divers, number 3. And again, 5 frags, 3,700 points needed there. And of course, get the gear, get the points. Not as much as the actual dungeons themselves, but most of us are going to be in this 5 to 6 star range, most of us, and then you're probably going to be in the 3 star or lower, depending on if you're doing campaign for champ training as well. And then lastly, we have Artifact Enhancement number 3, and again it will be 4,775 points, points there to get 5 fragments there. And again, depending on what you're upgrading, this is the point system breakdown for upgrading. And that would be the final event for the Eostrid Dream Song Fragment Champion. And if you did everything up to here, you will have 110 points. So I'll probably skip Artifact Enhancement and Dungeon Divers, and as soon as I finish off Ice Golem, I will be done as far as her things go, and then I can start treating up my champs. Anyhow, there's the technical breakdown for this particular fusion, and points you needed and how you got those points. Have a nice day. Little bonus material here. So they decided to do a hero's path here for her 5-star soul, and basically you just pretty much come straight down to here, and then you can go left or you can go right, same amount of points depending on which you want. And I believe the total is 73,500 points to get her 5-star soul. Of course, a lot more if you want to sit there and get any of these books or all that. You got to come down the sides to get a key, and then the keys unlock here. But so the two things are upgrade champions and summon soul stones. And again, the technical parts here are for each level. On a rank 1 is 2 points, 3 points for 2 stars, 4, 7, 13, and 18 up to 6 stars. And then from 1 to 2 star is 10, 35, 110, 225, and 675. These are inflated points. They are not the points during your normal champ training event. And then for soul stones, you get 100 points for mortals, 1500 for immortals, and of course 7500 for eternals. And unless you have a lot saved up, it's going to cost you quite a bit here. But that is the technical breakdown on how her soul can be gotten off of this hero's path. Have a nice day.